Hi, everybody. The last video where we were designing a lesson policy, I had 10 bulleted items that I wanted to go through. I got talking, didn't get them finished. We got through, I think, 5 or 6. So let's get this thing finished. Let's get it out of the way. I know it's a big pain in the rear end, but once you get this policy written, you're going to be very pleased and very relieved. Today, we're going to go over the registration fees, why you want to have that. We're going to talk about a materials fee, which will be good. And then we're going to talk about how you want to work with timeliness, communicate that with your students about being to their lesson on time, cancellations, rescheduling, and quitting lessons. Where are you guys with your process with writing your lesson policy? Let's just go ahead and jump right in. Let's talk about registration fees right now. There's a one-time-a-year registration fee. I charge $25. For several practical and professional reasons, it's common in private studios, and it helps the teacher, me or you, run your business more smoothly. When a new student enrolls, the teacher often spends unpaid time on enrollment, paperwork, or studio management software, student records, progress tracking, initial communication with parents or adult students. The registration fee helps offset that behind-the-scenes work. I think most students understand that. A registration fee also shows professionalism and commitment. A registration fee signals that the studio is a professional operation, discourages, this one's the most important, I think. It discourages casual or short-term signups. Aligns with industry norms. Many professional studios, music schools, charge a registration fee or enrollment fees. Independent teachers often adopt this practice to remain competitive and sustainable. So that's something you want to put in your lesson policy. Let's talk about materials fees now. I always charge a twice-a-year materials fee. 2 times per year materials of $25 due every semester. Keep good records in your students' folders. The first payment is received when you start your lessons, and the second is due the first week of when you wrap into that next 6 months. This fee helps cover printing costs your teacher incurs while making copies of sheet music and charts. You'll be doing a lot of that. Definitely welcome packets or studio handbooks, method books, worksheets, and digital resources. And I have a great video coming up talking about the different digital resources that you can use in your lessons that will very much embellish the amount of time that a student's in lesson. Even if materials are digital, they still represent time and expense. I'd like to talk about timeliness too. Being on time matters with music lessons, just like at a doctor's appointment. You know how we don't like going into our doctor's appointment and sitting in the waiting room for a half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes because I get behind a little bit. We don't want that to be happening with your music lessons. Arriving late means less playing, less feedback, and less progress. Remember, guys, this is a business, so you want to handle your lesson policy and the way that you communicate with students professionally. Here's another one. This is good. I write all this stuff down, so it's hard for me to just ad-lib it, so that's why I'm reading. Focus matters. Starting on time helps you settle in. Tune, if you're playing a guitar, and get mentally ready to make music. Respect goes both ways. Being on time shows respect for your teacher's time and for other students who are scheduled before and after you. These are all things that you can put in your policy. If you arrive late, your lesson will still end at the regular time, so the next student isn't affected, not like at a doctor's office. Let's talk about cancellations. If a lesson must be canceled, please provide advance notice at least 8 hours. That helps. Let's keep going. You can cancel a lesson, but please note that you will not be reimbursed or rescheduled. Sometimes you can reschedule. It kind of depends. Typical reasons for cancellations are, and this is my this is my experience. Personal illness. We all get sick. It's still your time as a teacher, so a personal illness is on your student. If you scheduled a doctor's appointment in conflict with lesson time, that's a big one I've had come up. Oh, here's another good one. you have visiting house guests, like grandma and grandpa. That's tricky. Vacations. Dealing with vacations is going to be a challenge for you. Oh, here's a good one. You have a school sports conflict. And I've had this happen quite a bit too, and I can tell when somebody calls to cancel. They haven't practiced or they don't feel like it. They paid for their time slot. I got a funny story to tell you. I used to get kids coming in sick. They'd come in for their lesson and kind of come bopping in through the door, and I'd hear a little cough, and then they'd say, Miss Lease, I didn't go to school today because Mom kept me home because I'm sick. And I'm thinking, why are you here at my house? So there are ways that you can handle that. But I'll tell you what, my immune system got really good. I had kid germs and teenager germs all through my house, and I was the Windex queen, washing down piano keys and going in the bathroom and making sure all the faucets were all clean. But I never got sick. I was around sicky kids all the time. Miss Lisa, I didn't go to school today. Mommy kept me home because I'm sick. So how I would handle that, a lot of times you don't want a sick kid playing your Steinway. And I just didn't want sick kids, playing this beautiful instrument. So we had other ways of handling illness. I'd either get them on the computer or we'd sit at the table and, like play counting games or note identification and stuff like that. So here's another one I'm going to read. It's about rescheduling. It is usually not possible to reschedule your lesson because there are no available times in that week. Anytime you reschedule with somebody, that's your time, extra time that you're spending teaching a lesson. We can try to find a time, but please don't expect that an absence will always be made up. Created me problems sometimes. People really pushed and, resisted that. But after training students that they really need to be coming on time, that's when they'd send their kids sick to me after staying home and seeing the doctor earlier. Miss Lisa, I'm sick. Coughing all the time. I used to allow maybe one missed lesson a semester. That seemed to be fair to me. Oh, here's a warning. The minute that you reschedule a missed lesson, that student is going to do it again. Red flag, red flag. The minute you reschedule a lesson, that specific student is going to play that game again. I guarantee you. Been there, done that. In regards to somebody quitting lessons, it's really nice for them to let you know in advance. That's why I always bill in the third week of the month. That gives me a week if somebody says we're not going to be coming back. It gives me a chance to take a look at my waiting list, because usually I have a waiting list, and I can give somebody a call and say I have an opening. Okay, as always, we have homework, which we're not calling homework anymore. We're calling it a mission. What I want you guys to do this week is I want you to go into your AI. It could be Chat GPT, whichever one you use, and I want you to do a search. Ask it and say, what are Taylor Swift's early albums? Take a look and see what her earliest albums are. I mean, that's from way back in maybe 2006, 2007. If you are a guitar teacher or a piano teacher, that early Taylor Swift stuff is fantastic. 2008 was the Fearless album. It's fantastic. All those songs are fantastic for your little girl students, specifically if they're playing the guitar, way fun. And this stuff's really fun to play on the piano too. A lot of harmonies. You can write out fantastic music charts and the lyrics, and they'll just eat that up alive. So ChatGPT, all of Taylor Swift's older albums. Has all this music lesson policy writing given you a nosebleed? I tell you, just get it over with, get it done, and then you're on to the more fun stuff. So if you've been having some success getting your lesson policy written, congratulations. I think it's really quite an accomplishment. Just be really happy with that success because it is really a big step. Next week's video, or at least the next video that I film, I don't know if it'll come out next week, but the next one is going to get you closer to actually taking on a few new students. It's called Start a New Teaching Business in 2026. Here are the first 3 things that I would do. Guys, if this video helped you, hit the like button. Let's pass this on. I think it'll help a lot of new teachers who are needing a little guidance. That's what this whole channel is about. Music teacher mentor. Thanks for watching the video.